So Venmo is one of the largest peer-to-peer mobile payment services in North America.
Now this has led many churches wondering if they should start using it for online giving.
Well, as we all know, Matt, if something is popular, it means it's good.
All right, we'll see about that. Now, Wes, we work with thousands of churches, and online giving is a big topic of discussion.
Yes, especially when we're talking about peer-to-peer payment apps. You know, I see some ministries, Matt, they use these apps like it's their main source of giving income.
Right.
And then I see some ministries, they use this app and this app and this app, and they're trying to cast this net all over the place in hopes that they'll increase their giving.
Yeah, they're just stacking this on top of everything else that they're doing.
Yes.
Now, outside of Cash App and PayPal, Venmo is one we hear a lot about.
So let's talk about the pros, the cons, and ultimately what churches can benefit from Venmo. Pro number one, Venmo is popular. In fact, it was the 4th most downloaded peer-to-peer app just last year, and it's consistently one of the most popular apps for peer-to-peer payments.
Yes. Venmo works pretty great for petty cash scenarios, as lots of people regularly use it all the time for things like splitting checks, paying for groceries, paying the babysitter,
Yes.
stuff like that. This makes it really easy to get people to give small amounts of money to a specific giving need.
And that's a really good pro. So we've got 2 pros there, and let's talk about the 3rd pro, and that is half of Venmo users are millennials. So people like us.
Yes.
Sometimes millennials are typically the people that's harder to get them to give, and so
It's because we're all broke.
especially now, but with Venmo having roughly half of their users millennials, that's really great for being able to get them to give. Okay, Matt, these things are great.
Yes.
But what are some of the cons of Venmo?
So, con number 1 is high credit card fees.
Yep.
When people send money through Venmo using a credit card, they're charged an extra 3%. For comparison's sake, churches using our online giving integration with Stripe pay about 30% less on average.
And that equates to hundreds of dollars. I mean, Matt, I've talked to small churches that have gotten away from that, and they're saving hundreds of dollars a year. And larger ministries, we save thousands of dollars a year by avoiding platforms with high credit card fees like that.
Now think about all the ministry a church could do with that kind of money. Churches use that extra money to support another missionary, buy a new soundboard, maybe fix the roof, or maybe even buy a new church van.
Yes, I mean, get multiple church vans. Let's get a fleet.
I'm rich.
Now, another con of Venmo is it does not have recurring donations, and this is really big. Tell us why.
Well, this is a huge deal. The average recurring donor will give 42% more in 1 year than those who give one-time gifts.
Now, repeat that again, because that's kind of a big deal.
The average recurring donor will give 42% more a year than a donor that just gives a one-time gift.
That's a big deal. I've already said big deal 3 times, so you get the idea. Now let's talk about the last con of Venmo, and that's it doesn't play nice with other platforms. This leads you to having to enter data in manually in most cases, which takes a lot of time.
Yeah, one of the challenges with all peer-to-peer apps, including Venmo, is that you still end up having to use a dedicated church giving platform for accepting online donations for people who don't use Venmo.
Yep.
Plus, Venmo won't do your giving statements or other year-end reports you need for your church.
Okay, we've covered the pros, we've covered the cons. Let's talk about what churches should use Venmo. At the end of the day, Venmo is not built for the needs of churches.
Yeah, the lack of recurring donations and donor reports also makes it inferior to basically any online giving platform that's made for churches. If you have to use a peer-to-peer app for accepting donations, Cash App would be a much better choice because it has a way to accept recurring donations.
I would say, Matt, the only situation I could see Venmo being a really good tool for accepting donations is, let's say like I'm a pastor and I'm accepting like a love offering perhaps, somewhere I'm preaching, and a lot of the people there are maybe like under the age of 40. Would you say that's probably a good use case scenario?
Well, that sounds like a very narrow use case scenario, and also you're still opening yourself up to automatically being 1099 by Venmo if your donations are above a certain threshold. So I don't recommend it.
Okay, I changed my mind.
Shucks, folks, I'm speechless.
Venmo for church giving is not really a good idea. If you really have to use a peer-to-peer app, Cash App probably is going to be a better tool for that.
I'll tell you what is a good idea though. Watch our video, The Best Church Giving Platform. We've got a link for you here.
In all seriousness though, there are hundreds of platforms out there for accepting donations online, and it can get daunting trying to figure out which one to choose. And in that video, we take a deep dive into the online giving industry to show you everything you need to know to help you pick the best giving platform for your church.
We talk about online giving fees, what things to look for in an online giving platform, what to avoid, and a lot more.
Well, that's it for now. Now, this video was one of the many hand-picked resources to help equip your church to build the body of Christ. Check out some of our other links in the video description below. See ya.